Hey, nieces, nephews, and nibblings, it's Robert, your favorite or soon-to-be favorite Black gay uncle. And I wanted to thank you because my post that I shared yesterday about dispelling the myths that Black people are more homophobic than others has been very popular. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing it with your friends. Hopefully it has started conversation. There's also been a lot of interest in the books that I shared. So I just wanted to talk to you about what books were in the video. I do try to set out a reading list at the beginning of every year with the intention to read. And I like laying them out because if you see it, then you can become it. And I do try to be a reader. And so the books that were pictured yesterday, the first one is Adrienne Clarkson, Belonging. This was a gift that I got a few years ago, actually when I first moved to Canada. I've skimmed through it, but I want to be intentional about reading it this year. Having a lot of conflict as a Black American who's also a Canadian citizen. So hopefully this will help in terms of clarifying and just some new insights into citizenship and how we move ethically as well as we can when we have issues with both countries that we identify with and from. So thank you to whomever gave this to me, but hoping to read this. The second is Queer in Black and White by Stefanie K. Dunning. This book, actually, my partner's had this for some time. It is from 2009, but I think it's going to be a good read. She talks about interraciality, same-sex desire amongst contemporary African-American culture and what happens with Black identity when folks are dating folks outside of their race. And so she has a lot of great references, including James Baldwin and Marlon Rigg. So hopefully this will be insightful. Next one is Brown Sugar and Spice by Mathis Bailey. This is a Detroit-born, Toronto-based now author. This is his first book. And it's just a cute romance novel. I always try to divvy my reading up between heavier things, as well as it's always good to have fantasy in our lives as Black people, Black queer people in particular. We need imagination, we need to dream. So hopefully this will be a cute little fun read. Next is Begin Again by Eddie Glaude Jr. James Baldwin's America and its urgent lessons for our own. I bought this a while ago. Actually, he wrote this in response to Trump's first presidency, and how James Baldwin's readings gives us a lot of insight into how we navigate political spheres. You know, as Black Americans, we've never had leadership that's truly represented us, that's truly had our interest in mind. And so, you know, struggling against political institutions is just part of the Black American narrative. So I bought this book to help ease some of my anxiety, and as we enter Trump's second presidency, I definitely want to complete this book. The next one is Black Panther. This is a complete anthology from his earlier works. Once again, always good to have imagination. I'm a huge Marvel person. Love Black Panther, the character. Obviously, the movies are incredible. But always good to read the source material. And the forewords and the introductions are also done by Black people, Nnedo Ikorafor and Kiani J. Whitted. So always exciting. Next is Caste, The Origins of Our Discontents by Isabel Wilkerson. This is also a book that came out a few years ago. I was able to read White Trash by Nancy Eisenberg. I highly recommend that book. She talks about whiteness through the lens of American history, the concepts of it, who gets to be white, the working poor and dispossessed white people in American history, and how there's always been a game against getting the vote against your own interests. So highly recommend that book. So I thought that this would be a great complement to that book that I finished last year, because in it she talks particularly about Black identity and the untold story, the caste system, how America perpetuates that. So this is what I'm hoping to read. There's also some honorable mentions. I have this After the Rain, Gentle Reminders for Healing, Courage, and Self-Love. A friend of mine gave this to me as a gift. So want to use that in terms of my own self-reflections for the year and How to Abolish Prisons. This was also a book that a friend lent me. It's an easy read, but I want to get through it. It just shares some lessons from the movement against imprisonment and actually some success stories. So as I try to move into a more abolitionist mindset, hoping that this book will be insightful. So hopefully that was insightful. And so tell me what you're reading, who your favorite authors, who inspires you. Let me know in the comments so we can talk about it. I love to share with you more about books that I've read or hoping to read. Hopefully that can be part of our community building together. And so hoping to have episode 3 up tomorrow. Going to touch base a little bit about what we talked about yesterday in regards to Black people and homophobia, and then particularly how it relates to dating and sexual preferences. And I'm sure you're familiar by now. There's a viral TikTok, and there's a person who's a Black gay man who's sharing how he doesn't date other Black gay men. So going to touch a little bit on that and speak to that further. So until then, know that I'm rooting for you. I love you and can't wait for episode 3. All right. Thanks, nieces, nephews, and nibblings for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share.